Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to teach you today how you're going to make your very own hot air balloon, and it's going to be a relief artwork. And what that means is that it's got a raised surface, and we're going to be using mixed media. So mixed media means that we're not just using one medium, but we're using lots of different mediums. So we've got tinfoil, yarn, Sharpies, and we're actually going to be using a Japanese marbling technique to do the background, which is floating Japanese inks, and you get these nice swirling effects. But we'll do that after we've made our balloon. First I want to demonstrate how to make the balloon, so I'm going to move this guy just out of the way so he doesn't get ruined. And what you're going to get is a piece of cardboard, and on either side, it doesn't matter which side, I want you to draw the shape of a balloon. Now it really does look like a light bulb, so if you do a nice round shape and then just bring it down, and then this little piece at the bottom is actually the basket. So if you can do that on the piece of card that I give you and then cut it out, when you've got it cut out, you should end up with two pieces that should look something like that. As I said, it doesn't matter which side you draw on, and if you keep making a mistake, don't worry, because this template's going to be covered. Now with your glue, and you can do this by drawing on it first if you want to, but you're going to start designing lines across it in glue. And how I did mine was I drew curved lines going up to the top like this first. Okay, so it's really replicating the pieces of fabric on a hot air balloon that's sewn together. And then I did cross lines, and I kind of scalloped it with my glue. I'm going to make this one fairly simple, and I just did a couple of lines, just curved lines, to give it that round shape for the basket. And there you've got the start of your relief, but we need to make it more relief, and what I've got is lots of yarn scraps. And taking the yarn scraps, I'm then laying them on top of my glue, okay? And then just trimming, and I just keep doing that. It's fairly messy, so don't worry about getting it on your fingers. We can wash our hands afterwards. Alright, and don't worry that it's not sitting on the glue perfectly either, because I'm going to show you how you can fix that. And you can use your fingers and keep it as in place as you can, but you'll be able to do it in a lot cleaner method, and I'll show you how in a moment. And there's a little piece that's just about the right size for there, so I'm going to be economical and do that. And it doesn't matter what colour the yarn is that you're using, because again it's going to be covered up, you're not going to see that. I'm just going to trim that piece, and I think I'll use that under there. There we go. Now I've got the basket already done. Take a piece off, and we've got so many pieces of scrap, so this is great. We're using up some of the stuff in our art room for this fantastic project. And there you go. Now I've got the vertical lines done, and I just need to do the couple of scalloped horizontal ones. I'm just going to take a piece of yarn, and I'm just going to push that like that. Now you guys, you can do it the other way if you want, or you can come up with your own design. I'll show you some images of balloons as well, and so you can come up with your own. I'm sure you're familiar with hot air balloons. And there we go. Just going to trim that off. Okay. Now, this is going to be really simple. I'm going to give you a piece of tin foil. Just going to move the basket out of the way. And with the shiny side up, that's the shiny side that you want to show, you're going to do this. You're going to press it. We don't have to wait for it to dry, because it's going to dry eventually. Press it onto your balloon. Turn it over, and very carefully, now be very careful, because we don't want to tear the foil, but just bring it round like that, okay? Turn it round again, and this is where you need to use don't be rough, but very carefully rub, and you're going to have to spend a few minutes gently massaging basically. And what you can do is you can reshape that yarn if you want to. You start getting this relief image. Do you see that, boys and girls? And I'm going to just do the same with the basket. Just going to set it on, turn it over, and wrap it. So now I've got myself a basket and a balloon. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use Sharpies, because you can't use just regular washable markers, boys and girls, because it would just rub off the shiny surface. So we need permanent markers to give ourselves those beautiful colours. Now this is what you're going to do first, okay? So this is part one, and when you get that done, we'll start looking at our colour palettes. So that's what we're going to do now, boys and girls. So let's go and make some art.